Well, the first time I was stopped, I think it was in Mississippi. We were stopped.
Was it in Mississippi?
It was Mississippi. Remember he got behind me and put his lights on? He heard my story and he escorted us. Got behind me with the lights. He hugged me. He hugged me about 3 or 4 times. He couldn't stop hugging me. You know, somebody called the police and he came. You know, that was when I still had the camera crew. And then I got stopped again in Mississippi. I got stopped again in Alabama. And they were aggressive. They was trying real hard to get me to put my shirt on. You know, they even pulled out the book to tell me that what I was doing was against the law. I said, sir, I did my homework. I've been planning this for almost 2 years. Me and my attorney sat down and we studied every law in every state. I know the law. I'm not breaking the law. Now, if I was showing nipples, exposing my nipples, then yes, you got a point. I said, the law specifically says if a woman exposed her nipples, it's considered nudity. He tried hard. He said, you're committing a lewd act. I was like, sir, do you know what lewd act is? I said, what am I doing? I'm walking. I ain't doing nothing lewd to get somebody excited. They get excited about my scars, then that's on them. And then he was like, well, you're distracting them. I was like, that's their problem. That's not my problem. They need to focus on what they're doing if they got a driver's license. It's 100 things that could distract them. Then they called their boss. He said, well, he ain't never had nothing like this before, so we don't know. We don't know. So he called his supervisor. His supervisor came to the scene. You know, and I'm like, why y'all holding me? I'm not committing a crime. I haven't broke the law. I got so many miles I need to be going, and you holding me up. And he was like, well, ma'am, you gotta wait a minute. So his supervisor come and he said, the supervisor came and said, well, we gotta call in to the DA. We're waiting on the DA call us back. So the DA calls and talks to the supervisor. Supervisor comes over and tells them and me, y'all gotta let her go. She ain't breaking the law. The DA says if she's not showing no nipples, she's not breaking the law. And I shook their hands. I said, I hope you learned something today. I hope I learned you something today. And then later on, he sent me a message. One of the cops sent me a message in my inbox apologizing to me. He said, I am so sorry. You know, you helped me today. That's what he said. He said, you helped me learn my job better. And for a cop to call me, you know, they don't humble themselves like that. But he humbled himself and he apologized. And my baby's so smart. Every time a cop stops, she have them on live Facebook. She said, Mom, I got it all on tape. So she recorded every time they stopped me, it was on tape.